I had an affair 10 years ago, and I still can't move forward in life.
Plus comments in response.
Advice needed. This is a super vulnerable post, and not one I'm necessarily proud of, but I really need advice. 10 years ago I had an affair. We were both married, he had kids, and I didn't. At the time, I truly thought it was the real deal. We were friends first, and it developed naturally and unexpectedly. I ended up pregnant, and I had my daughter. She has helped me become a better person in so many ways, and is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Her dad and I are not together, but have finally gotten to a place where we can co-parent. That situation effed both of us up for many years. I'm also friendly with his ex-wife, who he cheated on, and for some reason, she never held a grudge or hated me, or him. She honestly inspired me so much over the years. She was always nice to my daughter, and never treated her any differently than her own kids. I was able to apologize to her in person. She told me she forgave me, and we hugged. It was such a pivotal moment in my life, and one I think of often. My ex-husband remarried and has kids of his own, and I am happy he is happy. He did not deserve that. He and his mom both forgave me as well. The problem I have is that I'm not the same person I was back then, and I have severe shame associated with that situation, the lies, the shady behavior, the selfishness, and the things I was capable of to cover it up. Not to mention that the two people most impacted by this situation were somehow so forgiving and understanding. It's been years, and I cannot seem to let this shame and guilt go, and then I struggle internally with feeling so negatively, because then I feel like I'm supposed to regret my child, because of the damage I caused by having an affair. I've been in therapy forever, and I still feel stuck. I feel like my light is gone, and I'm forever damaged. I hate the thought that I was capable of that, and that I ruined so many lives. I'm okay in life overall, but not where I want to be, and I feel like that's my karma. I know I don't deserve sympathy or understanding, but I truly feel this is ruining my life. Maybe it's selfish to want some reprieve, but I want to be happy and proud of myself and my life. I don't want this to define me, but I feel like it does. Any advice? Edit. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has commented. I was fully preparing myself to get ripped apart, but everything you've all said, and I've read them all, has resonated with me. I truly appreciate everyone's comments, advice, and encouragement. There are things that have been said here that have seriously helped me, and I am deeply grateful.
Never be a prisoner of your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence.
The consistent word throughout your post is forgiveness. You mention all the people that have forgiven you, but it doesn't sound like you have forgiven yourself yet. You made a 𝗫𝗠ty decision, but it doesn't sound like you're a 𝗫𝗠ty person, or all of these people wouldn't have forgiven you. If others can give you grace, you need to work on giving yourself grace as well. Focus on the things you love about yourself and the big changes you've made. Sending hugs. I'm sure this was incredibly difficult to type and share. You deserve happiness.
I've been bringing this up a lot lately, and for good reason. I think there is a hidden endemic of OCD that many people have, but never will realize, because therapists aren't usually well trained in it, and media portrays it as something that it usually is not. At its core, OCD is uncontrolled rumination, typically around a theme such as morality. Did you do something bad? Yes. Should you still be ruining your own life about it a decade later? No. Google pure OCD and see if that resonates with you. I can direct you towards some resources that really helped me if so. I also strongly believe there is a common physiological mechanism between OCD, ADHD, autism, neurological consequences of post-traumatic stress, and complex post-traumatic stress, which has been associated with a more complex trauma symptomatology, usually later in life. Complex PTSD has been shown to bring upon increased emotional reactivity, lack of affect, violent outbursts, feelings of defeat, worthlessness, guilt, or shame. It is most commonly associated with traumatic events of prolonged nature that the victim could not escape. If you have one or more of these, or they run in your family, you might want to investigate OCD that shows up as persistent treatment-resistant depression and anxiety. Here are my current recommendations and thoughts. Check out the work of Dr. Michael Greenberg. I would start by listening to his appearance on the OCD Stories podcast, episode 252, Rumination is a Compulsion, and also reading his article, How to Stop Ruminating. There is an addiction aspect to OCD as well. Part of the OCD compulsion is basically you using your brain to freebase neurotransmitters by making yourself perpetually upset versus using your brain as a tool to think. I believe that to be part of the ADHD connection. Your dopamine-starved brain needs its fix, and it knows just what thoughts to think to get the maximum reward, even if it's bad. It sounds overly simple, but the cure is to rewire your brain by absolutely committing to not direct any more attention to these ruminations. You know how when you have a current obsession, and it seems like it is the most important thing in the world, and you can't go on until it is resolved? Well, observe what happens when a bigger, badder obsession is triggered. The old one suddenly seems pretty irrelevant, doesn't it? That's because you stop directing energy toward it. Starve it of attention, and it will fade. 2. EFT tapping. I can't recommend it enough. It's a simple, self-administered technique that involves tapping on a series of points on the body while verbalizing, or not, the issue you want to address in an organized way. It is amazing for helping to dissolve baked-in trauma and anxieties and untangling the synapses in your head into a more pleasing and healthier arrangement. Strangely, it can also be used for physical pain. It's amazing how strong the mind-body connection really is. It might sound woo, but it is backed up by science and a mountain of anecdotal evidence, including my own. There are similarities to EMDR, but this can be safely done by yourself and has been much more effective for me at least. Another nice thing is the scripting is infinitely customizable, so things you may find too embarrassing or cringe, etc., can be addressed with complete privacy. Check out 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on YouTube. He's got thousands of free videos about a huge range of emotions, situations, and ailments. Just follow along. He also has instructions for doing it yourself. Start with being peace. It's only a couple minutes long and you will feel better immediately. Anyway, I hope this helps you. I have a feeling it will. Let me know if you have any questions.